All right, we are live, y'all. We live on YouTube. I just need YouTube to connect this video so we can get the link to the video and put it in the comments. We're missing quite a few people that are usually in studio today, so I'm quite sure they're waiting on this link along with our regulars that join us in the comments on YouTube. So let's throw this link over into our group. All right, it is over there. It is over there. It is over there. So, okay, this is what I needed. Move that out of the way. Okay, so if you are not in studio like Teray and Kimberly and Shawana and Deborah, and you're in our community, you can use that link to join us in the comments of, and then you're not showing me the comments, YouTube. Why aren't you? Because you're showing me my vidIQ data, but I want to see the comments. There we go. Oh, now I have to scroll down to get to my comments. I don't like that. Can we move that? Okay, thank you. That's what we got. All right, y'all. I'm ready now. That was a bit much. So if you need community, if you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur who is struggling to make it to your first six figures in business, we have a community for you. We have a group just for you. Go to shaycannon.info/group. Join the group. It is free. We have three pillars in our group, three main values. Number one is we actually build community. We actually commune. In fact, in 2 nights from now, 2 days at night, we are having our movie club night. That is, we're going to watch a movie. I think this month's movie is Coco Before Chanel, and we're going to extract the business nuggets out of that movie together. So that's how we commune, is one way. Our second pillar is we actually collaborate. We come together to make our businesses better and to make money together. The third thing is we have conversations that are transformational to your business growth, kind of like this morning show. So you want to be in that group. It is free. Join at shaycannon.info/group. All right. So let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to the Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. It all starts with the blog, and this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/success. Because we're talking about consistency versus strategy, the secrets of business success. What I have been doing is sharing case studies and transparent lessons from my own business that have to do with me being consistent with something, but missing the strategy of it. And until I applied that strategy, I wasn't successful at that thing. Okay. So the secret is, if you're wondering what the secret is that you need strategy and consistency. If you're only consistent, you're hustling backwards. You're doing a lot of work, but you may not be getting the right result. If you are only strategic and you're not consistent, you're never going to make it to the results that you want because you're not being consistent enough with that right thing to do. All right. So keep that in mind. We've been doing different case studies all week long. First, we did a case study on me changing offers from being known as a fractional COO to becoming a business coach. And so them very different offers, and how did I get the consistency with one offer to be strategically applied to the next offer? If you want to hear about that, go to part one's replay. That was from Monday. Yesterday, we did part two. I gave you a case study about my community and how my consistency with content in that community did not grow the community. It wasn't until I added strategy that that community grow, even though the community was getting content and had been in existence for several years. Okay, so if you want to hear about that and learn the lessons from that case study, then go to part two. That's yesterday's replay. Today we're on part three, okay? And we're going to talk about my main offer, all right? My main offer. As I told you in part one, I am known as a fractional chief operating officer, right? So I wanted to switch over to business coaching. After the beta release of my beta course, of my business course that was going to be my main offer, right? I still consistently got more people that wanted to work with me one-on-one because I was known as the fractional chief operating officer, even winning a highly publicized award under that title for that offer. So what I was still getting, even though I was also known as a business coach, I was still getting people that wanted to work with me one-on-one. They wanted, these strategy sessions one-on-one. But I preferred to do things one-to-many with my course, right? So the problem with that, right? The problem with people wanting to do things one-on-one and why I prefer the one-to-many is because being known as the business coach was just one of my goals. I wanted to work with people one-to-many because the problem of being able to scale, right? When you work with people one-on-one, there's almost so much time you can give, this set of one person versus working one-to-many. You actually have more of more of an impact. You actually have more of a scalable model. Okay. So for the type of freedom I wanted to experience in my business, I still needed to coach groups rather than one-on-one clients. All right. Now let's get into what my strategy was. Okay. My strategy was, instead of focusing on marketing the foundational core product, which was the business course, I began an affordable workshop series. Okay. It's still one-to-many, but it was a different feel. Okay. So word got out about these workshops. And not only did I start achieving my goal of, this workshop that I'm over giving in and specializing in coaching these different areas as an event, I've been hosting these workshops for 2 years now, right? So over the 2 years, the format has grown from a 1-day live workshop to a 4-day live workshop plus challenge experience, right? To give it kind of a new life, to breathe new life into the concept, to make it something that is a new feel to it that people would want, right? And so I've kind of broke it down into a formula where the workshop would be all about teaching the concept. Okay. Day 1 of the challenge is all about telling you how to implement. Day 2 of the challenge was all about the tools I was giving you to implement easier and how to use the tools. Day 3 of the challenge was that sacred space for you to actually work and implement this thing while you still have access to me. So it was a work session day, right? So bringing that concept together, and feel free to do that in your business, was something that was a little different than what everybody else was doing. It brought in, people that wanted to come in groups, but they still felt like they kind of got more of the one-on-one experience because they had more time with me to ask their personalized questions about the different parts of the concept because I broke it down. Okay. So replays of these workshops now continue to bring in revenue, taking the value from not only group, but passive income. So I'm further meeting my goal of, more freedom in my business, but also garnering revenue. Okay. So that is the case study, right? The case study was, I was consistent with getting in people wanting to have one-on-one coaching with me rather than group coaching. The problem with that is it's hard to scale one-on-one and you don't have as much freedom in your business. The strategy was coming up with a new one-to-many / group concept that I can put out there and garner more revenue that gave me more freedom in my business, and then parlay that into passive income that was even more freedom and even more revenue. Okay, y'all? Okay. So let me give y'all some tips. Let me give you some tips because we go beyond the blog on the morning show and you get more. So these tips, they are a combination of what you can do for your main offer and some tricks that I threw into my main offer. Okay. So what you can do with your main offer to go from, that one-on-one to one-to-many. All right. You can consistently have clear communication about the benefits and the value of the way that you prefer to do business. Okay. So that group one-to-many, you have to communicate what is the value of doing the one-to-many, right? You have to communicate what is the transformation they are still going to get, what is the experience they are going to have. Okay. You share social proof, which is your testimonials of the people who have done the one-to-many with you before. You share success stories and case studies, okay, to build credibility about the preferred way of doing business, the one-to-many. Now, that's the consistency. You want to be consistent in the communication. Now, your strategy is going to be creating a compelling narrative around this way you prefer that they do business with you, right? So when I tell them that they're going to have a workshop plus challenge experience, right? And I tell them what that experience is and how, what the workshop day is and what the days of the challenge is and how much time they have in between the workshop and the challenge to kind of get their mind right. How if you didn't get the workshop on the first day, you have time to get the replay before we start the challenge, right? I start telling you all about this extra value you get from the way that I'm doing things that is different than if you come and work with me one-on-one, right? So be consistent in the clear message. And the strategy is create storytelling and a narrative around the benefit of the way you want them to do business, okay? The next one, introduce complimentary offers to your main offer so that you have something to switch to, right? Now, we talk about offer ladders all the time. So the workshops had always been a cross sell on my offer ladder, right? So the main offer is still this course, but I had to recognize that people were coursed out, okay? People were coursed out. They didn't want to hear nothing about a course anymore, let alone a high ticket course. Okay. So I had to course correct. Okay. And bring you something else that was also one-to-many. So I pulled from complimentary offers that I already had in my offer letter. So you have to be consistent with people knowing about your cross sales and having a full out offer ladder. Okay. You have to be consistent with having that kind of stuff ready. That is the consistency. Your strategy is offering these complimentary offers as a part of your offer funnel, right? Cross sales can stand on their own. They can also be complementary. But you should have a down sale, you should have a main offer, and you should have an upsell. And that full ladder should give you an idea of what can be cross sales. What is something of value that doesn't compete with any of that? It just adds more value to it, right? So none of my workshops compete with my course. And so if you take a workshop, what I always tell you is, this is just a streamlined version of a high level strategy. But if you still lack clarity, structure, and the first strategies, you still need the course, right? Okay, so that is the strategy. You want to have your offer ladder, and you want to know how to have these cross sales that do not compete with your main offer. All right, you want to leverage testimonials and strategy stories to help you with that storytelling, right? So what I do is I consistently ask during these workshops and during the challenge, while the recording is going, I consistently ask, has this been of value to you? Do you see where this can be transformative in your business? And right there, as a part of the end of that replay, I already have these video testimonials. And then when we have workshops, because it's a series, right? I have people that come in and say, hey, I know we're on this workshop, but the last workshop was so great. Let me tell you the results I've been getting. Now I have these success stories, right? So we're consistent in getting those. The strategy is you have to share them. Now I have to get better at this. As I'm preparing to go on vacation, I'm preparing all of my workshops to go to a more cold audience, right? So it went to my community first. That, again, the sales page is not even set up for cold audiences. If you don't know me, there's nothing on the sales page about me, right? So my sales page is even set up for that warm audience. Now I need to go back, upgrade everything to be for cold audiences. We need to push these workshops out. We already know they're transformative. We already know that you guys in the community are getting results. Your business is being transformed. So now we can use all those success stories and all of those testimonials and the value you got to push this outside of the community to get more one-to-many passive income sales. Okay. Now create so this is, now we're going into how I kind of created this experience, right? So you want to create a multi-touch experience. This is what people are looking for. Again, when I say that people are coursed out, I mean they're tired of you giving them information and you're not really highly accessible for what they might deem necessary to actually implement that information. Okay? That's what I mean by people are coursed out. It's not that courses aren't selling. You might just have to add some more touch points to your course or come up with a cross sell that's kind of like my workshop plus challenge experience. Again, take that idea and wrap it into your business, okay? So you want to be with this multi-touch point experience, you want to be consistent with developing like onboarding, engagement, communication, updates, reminders, explain to them the value, remind them to take you up on the value, right? If you come into the workshop experience, you're not inundated with reminders, but guess what? Every reminder includes everything you need to know. Okay, I'm talking about every reminder. Every reminder gives you a link to your vault where all of your assets are going to be put at the end, your replay, your tools, whatever. Every email includes that link. Every email tells you where you are in the experience and how many days you have left. Every email reminds you that there's a Slack channel for you to go over there and get peer help. Okay, every email is reminding you what you bought. Okay, so that you can make sure you're getting the full experience that you bought. So every email is telling you what you're supposed to be learning, right? What you're supposed to, the highlights of the workshop and the highlights of all of the challenge. Every email, okay? So multiple touch points. Not only did I set up the concept to be multiple touch points, but the communication about this experience has multiple touch points, okay? Next, you want to value pack your events and your experiences, okay? The reason why my workshops work so well is they're value packed. People can't believe that these workshops are $97. Well, even the $147 is the public price. $97 is the community price. But if you're a smart person from the public, what I do is I go ahead and put the community coupon code on the sales page. There's no reason why you should be paying the full $147. You too could be paying the $97, right? If you're in my membership, your coupon code goes to you guys and they are only paying $47. And if you're in a higher level coaching program, they don't even pay for the workshops. They just show up and get more value. Okay. So how are you adding value-packed things into this cross-sell, into the experience? I let you know what bonuses I have planned for you. But guess what else I do? In the live experience of teaching the workshop and going through the challenge days, if there is anything else I have that I can give you to help you, I add that in as additional bonuses. Okay. I added in as additional bonuses. And guess what else I do? When I sell it as a replay, I let them know what the planned bonuses was and what the additional bonuses were that came out of the live experience. Okay. So you need to start pulling this stuff out so that you have this value packed experience. Some of you, okay, are putting everything in as the core offer. Stop doing that. Your core offer is A to B. I'm going to teach you how to do this thing. That's A to B. In my workshop plus challenge experience, really the workshop itself is the A to B. The challenge days are bonuses, me giving you tools to make it easier for you to implement, me making sure you know how I implement so you can ask questions, me having a work session for you, me giving you more things that you can use down the line as you get used to working this concept. All of that makes it value adds. You don't put that in there as a part of the main offer. You pull that stuff out. Going from A to B is your main offer. Anything else, even though it's a value to the A to B, needs to be a bonus or separate, and it needs to be identified as such. Okay, that's what makes it value packed. So then you want to make sure, y'all, and this is something that a lot of, especially new coaches or service providers, you can definitely give service in group. Sometimes you do have to start with one-on-ones to make sure that you're identifying the things that people have in common that are their obstacle, that they feel like they need to know, that they feel like they need to actually take value from what you're giving. But you want to transfer or we're going to say evolve to a one-to-many because that is more scalable. Okay, that is more scalable. So when you look at your business and you have a service that is one-on-one, what is a group version of that service, right? So one-on-one could be the done for you service. But what if you taught a group of people how to do it themselves? That could be the group version of your one-on-one done for you service. Okay, so you want to look at ways to scale your business. All right, you also want to look at ways to get passive income. Again, we have these live workshops, and then these workshops are transformed for the replay experience. Now, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. In my mind, I feel like I should go back and re-record the workshop and the challenge parts so that I'm not talking to people and they're not asking questions doing it. And then I realized, no, first of all, it's quicker to market if you leave it as a replay. Second of all, do you know how much value it is in other people hearing other people in their same situation ask questions? Right? Or hear their ideas, that makes it even more valuable than if it was just me doing a more professional video without other people on it. Okay. So that allows for that passive income without me having to be a perfectionist. So think about that. So think about going one to many instead of one-on-one, and think about how you can make that one to many into a passive income experience, or how can it start as a passive income experience. Okay. So let me check over here on YouTube, because I know we probably got some people in the comments. Yes, we got Keith with us. We got Glow with us. We got Dr. Toya over there all saying good morning. Good morning, peoples. So I'm going to go back over this list of things for you to be consistent and have strategy with. And I want to know which one do you think is going to be more helpful to you with your main offer. So align your marketing with your desired offer. Introduce complimentary offers, or just know what your upsells, downsells, and cross sales are. Leverage testimonials and success stories. Have a multi-touch point experience, making sure that you're adding value and people can recognize the value because you're pulling that value out. Make it scalable, make it passive income. All right, I'm going to start with Debbie. Which one of these strategies do you feel like you can put in your one-to-many experience and be more successful with?
I like leverage my testimonials.
Yes. I feel like we don't do that enough, y'all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that we can take one testimony, like we get a
Mhm.
video testimonial, right?
Mhm.
We can run that testimonial as a video, right? We
Yep.
can then take the same testimonial and just use the words and add a picture. We could take the same testimonial and do just the words. Like we can use the one testimonial in different
Mhm.
formats. That's how much we're not leveraging testimonials. Like one can be leveraged in different ways, let
Mhm.
alone actually using the ones that we get, let alone making it a part of the experience that you give people time to give you a testimonial as a part of the experience, right?
Mhm.
Because I know
Yeah.
that people, we have all of these different things where we send out a survey, we ask people to send back a video test, all of that. I'm telling you, making it a part of the experience so you get it now.
Mhm.
Okay. So cool
Mhm.
thing. All right, Debbie, thank you for that. Miss Shawana, which one of these consistency plus strategy things do you feel like will add more success in your business?
I do have to agree with pushing out those testimonials more, because people do need to see what it is that we do.
Yes.
And then, of course, in doing that, also highlighting uh, those offers to let them know and showing them where to go to get started, or even just set up that consultation.
Yes, yes, I love it. Kimberly, you can safely unmute while I go over here to the YouTube side to say, Glow and Keith and Dr. Toya, which one of the success nuggets from today do you feel like will, help you be more successful in your business from what I gave you? That's more and that's beyond the blog. Okay. Kimberly is not going to be able to successfully unmute right now. We want her to focus. So we're going to go to Teray. Teray, which one do you feel like will add more success to your business?
Definitely those testimonials. I feel like people will look at all your bonuses. They'll look at all your discounts and everything, but until somebody else is like, "Oh my goodness, buy this. This is amazing."
I love it.
But also I think the multi-touch experience is also important. Because once they pay their money and they're like, oh, I'm excited to get started, if they don't know where to go, you don't ever want somebody to regret giving you their credit card numbers. And once they give you the numbers and they're like, okay, I'm ready to get started, and they get started, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, they don't have any guidance, they don't know where to go, they're like, I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth. You never want a customer to feel that way. So that multi-touch experience is important. They need those reminders. They need to be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That as well.
Love it. I love it. All right. Let's see here. So on yesterday, it's amazing that Shawana brought up something yesterday, and then it was Shawana, who was your I think it was for I forget who it was for, but Shawana, when you said why not have a ask whatever where they can ask you questions, right? It was not for Dr. LaFera, I think it was. And then we talked, it was for you, Teray? Okay, cool. And so, let them ask you questions, and it was you, because I remember saying, don't let them do it in your DMs. So, and have a form for it, right? Yesterday, as I was doing my content after the show, I take the replay of this show, I add the descriptions, the time, all the good things, and I take the clip and I put it on the, shorts and whatever. I was doing my TikTok version of the show, and I saw a TikTok question. So I want to share with y'all. So this person, I don't know what they said in April. So just so that y'all know, my ideal client is women. I don't, let's just go and say, as an attractive, gorgeous woman, I don't really pay attention to men in my DMs, because most of them are not talking about business and I'm not interested, right? But I do at least see if they're talking about anything business before I just ignore them or leave them on red or whatever you call it, right? So this person said, hey, how are you, Shay? I have a question for you. He's asking a question about business credit, okay? He's saying that, this economic time is affecting us in different ways. And one of the ways that it's affecting us is with our credit and our credit limits. These financial institutions are lowering your credit limits if you're not using the full balance of it. They're lowering it. And what that did for him was it made him max out, right? So it wasn't his debt to ratio. What was it? It's his, I can't remember. Teray, do you remember what is it where it's amount of credit you have? Usage is what it is. And so it made his usage go high. Plus he didn't have the benefit of the extra credit. And he was like, he don't know what to do. And right now it's putting him in a financial bind. Now, what y'all know is I ain't never said I was a financial expert. I ain't never talked about credit. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that I talk about. So I still answered him though. Okay. I said, hey, I do not specialize in business credit. That's a niche all its own. I specialize in clarity, structure, and initial strategies for online service-based businesses based on my fractional chief operating officer services to 6- and 7-figure businesses. That's what I do, right? So, but I said with that in mind, if an online service-based business came to me with this circumstance, I'd have them leverage capital loans from their payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, Shopify, QuickBooks, etc. Right? They all have capital loan programs that pass through their platform on your behalf. That's based on the volume of payments that pass through their platform on your behalf. So the repayment is a percentage of your future sales rather than manual payments only. However, okay, never get a loan without a plan to repay it. So in the realm of entrepreneurship, if you need more revenue, you need to make more offers. So you see how I dipped into my expertise? Okay. And so I told him, so how you can step up offering what you have for sale to more people, sell more often in varied ways, your email list, your online community, other people's audiences in different marketplaces and on stages, etc. Right? But this is just, credence to what Shawana said. This is another type of content that is valuable to your people if you allow them to ask you questions, and then you share the answer to the question to your general public as content. Now, what I'm going to tell you is do not allow these people to ask you questions and then you just answer them and that's it. So, because what they just got was a free strategy session, a free pick my brain. That's not you need it to have value for you too. It has to be a win-win. So you then take it and you don't even have to tell their name, right? If you don't want to, but you can take it and make it something that you share with your community as content that is also teachable to them. Okay. Now, I did this a long time ago when I had, y'all know I have many lives, but I've always been a writer. And I used to have this column that was on relationship advice and stuff. Now, not like Teray trying to help y'all get married. I was just trying to help y'all survive, teach y'all you need to shut up sometimes, that kind of thing. But I had an Ask Shay that was a part of that was great, right? I have not done an Ask Shay in my business because I do live what they call hot seat coaching all the time as part of this morning show, right? I pull out your obstacles as a part of this morning show and we go ahead and address it now. So that's kind of my Ask Shay, right? At the end of every morning show, what do? I say, do you have any questions? I even help you to think of questions. Hey, you got any questions about today? You got any questions about all week? You got any questions about your business, right? So that's my version of Ask Shay. But I am looking for something to create content around. And I thought about it. I was like, I want something where I can critique something live, right? I want to be able to critique something live so that people can come on and I can critique something and then push them towards the offer, right? So I told you guys that big roadmap, I have now split into 3 different roadmaps that you can get instead of buying the big roadmap, which is now, or the full roadmap, which is now like $5,000, $6,000, right? So for $3,500, we can focus on clarity, we can focus on structure, we can focus on just your offer, right? I knew I wanted to go live with some critiques that would help me with that. I just didn't have an idea until again yesterday. So Shawana kicked off some stuff for me yesterday. Yesterday, I tell y'all about vidIQ all the time. Yesterday, they had live channel reviews. And by channel, they're talking about YouTube channel. So vidIQ helps you to grow your YouTube channel. That's what that tool does. That's why I talk about it all the time, right? And as a part of their content, they're on here live, going to people's channels and critiquing them. Now you have to fill out a form and they're pulling from the pool of forms, okay? Because guess what? As a part of that, you need to still be able to get people's email addresses, right? You want to get, you want to kind of filter out some people, because especially as your segment becomes more popular, you want to have some kind of barrier that filters people, not just people throwing stuff in the comments and now you got to try to figure out the comments. No, they got the people going to a form and then they're picking from the forms, and it's just a type form at that, right? So these are some strategies. The one that Shawana gave you yesterday, and see how that played out just with somebody entering my inbox on yesterday. And also, what can you do live to help people, that people can see the transformation? They can see that you're the expert. They can even learn and apply what you're giving somebody else to their business, because that it fast tracks that like, know, and trust, right? If you could do this for free, what is your paid stuff like? That's what it is. So what I've decided I want to start doing in the second half of the year is I want to definitely start doing where I critique your clarity, right? All I got to do is really critique your brand cohesion. I can tell you if you're clear. Let me see what your social media is and let me look at your website. I can tell you, do you have clarity? Or are you talking to 75 different avatars? Do you have 1 million different offers going different ways? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can easily do that very quickly, okay? So that's one of the ways that I want to do the critique live. Another way is critique your structure, right? So I'm going to pick what structure, but what do your processes look like? I think what I want to go with is the client journey. I can critique your client journey and see what structure you're missing for that client journey, right? And then that could push you and add to an upsell to the structure portion of the strategy roadmap, right? Last but not least, we can critique offers live. What is your offer, right? By now, I've taught y'all What is an irresistible offer? What makes it irresistible? What about these bonuses? What about the urgency? We can apply all of that stuff and see what their offer is like. And is there anything in there that is confusing? We can do that live. We can do it quickly. You see what I'm saying? So if you are like Shawana, a part of her business is social media management, right? She can pull up social media accounts and be like, woo, okay, if I was your social media manager, what I would do is, you know what I'm saying? This is what's wrong with this channel, and this is what I would do to fix it, right? I don't look, I don't want Kimberly looking at feet and telling them where to put their foot bomb. But you can do some foot styling if you get into that jewelry, Kimberly. I know you're talking about getting into the foot jewelry. You can do some foot styling. Like, I have this outfit. What piece of foot jewelry would go with this well? Push into the sale, right? To Ray, you can easily identify, okay, my child is having this problem with this within his experience with being autistic. You know what I'm saying? What is a recommendation you would have, type of thing, right? And you can give a quick recommendation, but explain to them how that quick recommendation is not enough. The same way I tell y'all, I'm gonna answer your question because you don't know what you don't know. Let me explain to you how you don't have clarity, you don't have structure, and you don't have your first initial strategies that you would need before this strategy. You could do the same thing to Ray. Right? Debbie, you can definitely look, you don't even have to do it live, because see, your avatar is different. Your avatar is not necessarily looking for you to do stuff like that live, but you are in a position to critique the videos that these institutions are already using in their marketing, or the lack thereof, right? So one thing I love is, as I'm growing my YouTube channel, y'all know what I'm getting a lot of? I'm getting a lot of people in my inbox and in my comments saying, hey, I looked at your YouTube channel. They be having screenshots of my channel, right? They say, I love the content, but you need an end card, you need this, you need that, and I can help you with that, right? But they have a screenshot of my channel and they got, the red lines, the yellow lines, or whatever. That's something that you can do, Debbie. You could do a screenshot of their website and tell them all the places they could have a video. Or tell them, hey, I'm looking at your website and I am seeing so many places that you can put a video and you can story tell to really get people in and draw them in and get more business. Let's talk about it. Schedule a call, right? So yours could be more like that cold audience marketing, but using the fact that they don't have video, or they don't have enough video, or the videos that they're using are not up to par and you're probably not getting results. So that's one way you can do it, Debbie. Kimberly says she's going to leverage testimonials when she gets them. So that's awesome. Over here on the YouTube side, nobody has told me what they're going to do. No, Glow did. Glow says she's going to do more testimonials. So everybody's loving the testimonials. So I think it's great for you to understand you don't have to wait till after you're done with the service to have an extra touch point to get that testimonial. You can make it a part of the experience. Whenever is the next time that you're going to have a time to talk to that person, you can get that testimonial then, right? A lot of us do meetings over Zoom. When you're doing your closeout meeting, ask them, right? Recap all the things you did as a part of your service and ask them, then how do they feel about it? How do they feel about how the transformation is going to go? Have they already been experiencing transformation? How do they feel about the service? Go ahead and ask as you're recording, okay? And I just thought about another way that I use testimonials is, for example, if it was on Zoom, and let's just say you weren't dressed in a way that you would want me to use that video, what I would do is use a picture of you, use the audio, and it would come up like that audio wave, like a podcast. You can use it that way too, okay? Now, any questions? I know I threw a lot out at you. Any questions about changing from one offer to another? Any questions about building community? Any questions about utilizing a cross sell to have one-to-many opportunities in your business? Because that's what we've talked about all week long. So any questions? What you got, Shawana?
Well, no, one, you gave the example, and then you were referring to me regarding the social media. But even though that is something that I do, that is not a forward-facing offer for me. So I was curious when you were rolling out your thoughts, because that is not a forward-facing offer.
So you want another thought, Shawana?
No, that I'm saying I need right. Amen.
Yeah, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Right,
Hallelujah.
like, yeah, that's what she mean. You know. All right, Shawan. So your forward-facing offer is be seen, be heard, be paid, right? Which is more video on social media. So you can very easily give people an idea of what they can be doing video on, right? And that could parlay them into that new offer I gave you, where they can sign up for that, a prompt a day every month. Or it could be the main offer of, me doing your actual video for your social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just no, I don't announce that. That's not announced anywhere.
What's not announced? That you do video?
No. The content.
No,
That's
that's a down sale.
yeah.
So you're gonna go for the main offer. If they don't go for it, the down sale is at membership.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We just had to make sure it was in the record. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And so let me tell y'all that when you start something like this off, even if it's a ask you something or a critique something, until it catches on, it's gonna be slow going. Okay, it's gonna be slow going. If everybody got to catch on to that's what you're doing. People got to some of them got to get brave enough to want to come on, but you're gonna have to be consistent with it before it builds up. So this is what I want you to do. When you start, I want you to start with a short amount of time. Don't be scheduling no hour and you ain't got no hours worth of people coming in yet. Don't schedule an hour. Have room for it to grow to an hour, but maybe start with 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You can start with 5 minutes, right? And then you can see how it goes. You can say, this is a 5-minute critique, get in while you can. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be on until this amount of time. I'm going to show up at this time every whatever day, every Wednesday, every third Thursday, whatever your routine is going to be for your consistency, right? And we're going to be on, I'm going to take the first 3, I'm going to take the first 5, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Start off with a shorter duration of you doing it, so you're not sitting there talking to yourself live, because you're just starting. So that's the first tip I have for you. The second tip I have is you should always have some examples ready in case you don't have live volunteers, okay? So don't just go live and be like, come on in so I can critique you. Don't do that. Let me tell y'all about how one day on Clubhouse, I thought I was going to do a live Q&A and just take whatever questions people had. And let me tell you how that's the day nobody said a damn thing. Let me tell you how nobody said shit. You remember that, Trey? Shawana, you remember that?
I do, and that's you know what though. But behind that,
Shay Cannon.
but I'm saying behind that though, Shay. Behind that though, you like me. You was like, okay, this will never
happen again. You hear me? Never. You won't get me no more. How about that? You got me once, you won't get me again. I ain't had nothing like that ever since. So,
never ever.
Let me tell you how my recommendation is to have something ready. Okay? Have something ready. You can go to ChatGPT and pull up some frequently asked questions, right? Kind of use those. One frequently asked question is this, and go into detail about it or whatever. Did you have that question? Shut up, Teray. I mean, really?
Is this what y'all doing? Oh, this is what y'all doing? Okay.
I was stuttering. Okay. I was like, okay. Y'all ain't got no question?
I remember.
I was like, what the world?
Never. I actually learned that though before all of this stuff, when I used to do lives every week, and then you would hope that people come in with the feedback to then give you something that could stretch the hour. I learned that back then. It was like, no, like you said, I don't care if it's a Bible verse, a song, a hymn, or something. You have got to have something else to carry your conversation in the event that you're not getting that pull from the audience. Yeah. You was like, okay, I got y'all. I see y'all. I could carry my own show.
Dr. Toya is asking me, do I have an affiliate link for vidIQ? I'll put that in the show notes for everybody. But yes, so that's my second recommendation, right? So number 1 is going to be consistent. Okay. Decide how you're going to be consistent. When are you going to show up and routinely? That could be weekly. It could be daily. It could be monthly. Decide how often you're going to do it so that people can expect it. They need to be able to expect when you're going to come on. All that, I'm just going to jump on. You're setting yourself up for failure. They already don't know what time you're jumping on. If your audience is not that engaged and you're not already an influencer where you have all of these millions of people connected to you already. So when you jump on, a high percentage of that million people are going to join you. Don't do it. Setting yourself up for failure. So number one, find your frequency so that you can be consistent. Number two, start off with a small duration, even though you may hold sacred an hour so that you can grow into that hour. Start off telling them 5 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. And then what you have time to do is as people start to join you, because people tend to join late too. That's another thing. You can stay on the live as long as you can, and that gives you more content, right? And it gets more people aware the longer that you stay on. So you can tell them, I'm only taking the first 2, 3. And then as you say, hey, okay, I see we're getting more people. I'm gonna go ahead and stay on longer. So have start with a shorter duration in mind, but with a safeguard of a longer duration. Okay. And third, have you some content ready. Okay. You can even use like influencer type examples. I love when we newsjack content and stuff. Newsjack some of these, whatever you're critiquing, go find a guru and critique their stuff. Find a good version, find a bad version, right? I love when people do these website reviews and they say that you got to have this, and that. Okay, well, let me tell you how. It's some gurus out here making money off the most awfulest Wix website ever. So you can use that as an example of, hey, you ain't a guru yet, so yours can't look like this, right? But you can have examples from influence. You can have examples that you got from ChatGPT. You can have examples where you just take a moment to research as a part of getting ready for your segment. These are my suggestions to you, because this is exactly how you're going to see me do it and how you'll see me start out. Okay. So let's see. Glow said, I remember that. Hush, Glow, hush. And then Glow said, Teray, what's the name of your Facebook group? Okay, let me tell y'all something. Did y'all know? Look, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. And I want all of y'all to do this, because Teray has an awesome group. You look for When Dating Works. You can search for it. It's also, the link is in the show notes from yesterday, I do believe. But if you go in our group, and you go under guides in our group, did you guys know that in the group, there's a business directory where you can tell people what you do? Under guides, there is if you want to barter with somebody for something, you can tell them what you're willing to give and what you need. You can put your Facebook page on here, and it's a follow train. So you follow other people and then they follow you. It's a follow train for your Facebook group. You can put your link in here. Okay. Your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn. Subscribe to your YouTube channel, follow your Twitter over there with Elon, your Pinterest if you have one. Go into guides and everybody, right? Because, some of y'all be feeling some kind of way when we highlight one person and you got a group too. Okay, but her group was a part of the conversation. But in our community, we have where you can share this stuff, because don't forget, we commune and we collaborate, right? So in our group, shaycannon.info/group if you want to join the group. And then you can go to guides and you can fill in all this information. And then you can interact with information that's already there. Okay, y'all? So Teray's group is When Dating Works. Look it up. It's also a link in yesterday's show notes, if I'm not mistaken. And if you have a group, you also can share your group. Go to our group and share your group. All right? Cool beans. All right. What you want to add, Teray? You
Two things.
Yes.
Two things. Regarding leveraging testimonials, let me just say that at the retreat last year, Shay took every opportunity to get our testimonials. At every meal, at every restaurant, she was like, okay, so Shawana, today, what do you think about every meal, every experience? Let me just say, whenever we were she didn't wait until we were having our one-on-one with her. Whenever we were at the beach, when we were on the strip, she was like, okay, so every opportunity. You haven't seen it yet, but trust and believe you're going to see it. The next time she does a retreat, you're going to see our testimonials. Trust me.
Exactly.
We only did 100 of them a piece. Okay. The second thing I want to say, let's go back to what she showed us. Don't miss it. She showed us the question in her inbox. Okay. Now, the rest of us business people would have saw his question and thought, oh yeah, that's not my thing. I don't answer anything about finances. Sir, yeah, you need to go talk to your financial advisor. Don't miss what just happened. He recognized he's not even her avatar. He recognized that she's an expert, and he came to her with this question. Now, she could have dismissed it and said, yes, sir, thank you for your question, but that's not what I do. But she took this as an opportunity. She introduced herself. She was specific about what she does and what she can do. And then she used it as an opportunity to give him a mini strategy session. The rest of us would have been like, oh no, he doesn't get nothing for free. If he wants this answer, he can schedule a call. She didn't do that. She treated him as if he was in her inbox, and she gave him value, a little bit of value, but value. If he were my client, this is what I would have told him. And what she did was she made him trust her enough to want to know more. Now that dude, 100%, he wants to book a strategy session with her. He does. But she did that on, listen, look, what, don't miss what she did. She turned him into a customer, even though he's not her avatar. Anybody else would have dismissed him. Anybody else. But don't miss what she did in the inbox. This was a free lead that showed up in her inbox. I'm just saying. So
this is funny because while Teray is talking, he has answered. Okay, thank you for taking time to answer.
But see how he appreciates her. Listen, he's not done with her. Trust and believe. He's recognizing who she is and her expertise and what she's done for him. Trust and believe. He's a follower now. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you that I do that in a lot of different ways, right? Whether it's something in my inbox that's truly about all you have to do to get a response from me is truly be talking about business. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about something else, I don't even take time to answer because it takes too long and I don't have the time. And you were taking a chance when you entered my inbox on this unsolicited stuff anyway. So I don't even answer if it's not business related. However, if it's business related, even if it's not what I do, I'm always going to take you back to what I do. I do this same thing in podcast episodes. I do this same thing when I'm going through Heyro and doing media mentions. I'm always going to bring it back to what I do. Even if it's not what I do, I'm going to bring you back to what I do, right? So some of you have the opportunity to get on shows, get on podcasts, get on stages or whatever, and how that person sees your value may not line up perfectly with what you want to offer, but you can always line it up, right? Do you know how many times I have people that we're going to talk about this tomorrow. I'm jumping ahead because tomorrow we're talking about visibility. But as many times as people have had me on their shows because they know I live in Mexico, they know I've lived in Belize, I've lived in Argentina, I've been to Costa Rica and work. Because they know all of this stuff, they want to hear about that. I'm still going to bring it back around to what I need to be known about me for my business though. Right? So you'll hear more about that tomorrow, but no matter what it is, you should always have the wherewithal to answer whatever question and then bring it back to business. You see this live and in person when celebrities go and they do these press tours for the movie they have coming out. They might have something going on in their life. They might have a new girlfriend, a new wife. They might have just broke up with somebody. The media is going to try to take it there to the personal thing. They're always going to they're either going to answer, not answer, and bring you right back to that movie because they know why they're there. You know why you here? You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to understand. Okay? So yeah, you should always bring it back to what you want to be known for, what is the offer that is hot right now that you're putting out, what is how you can help, not how they see your value, but bring them back to how you want to be seen and what you want them to focus on. So that was cool. That was great. Thank you for that, Teray. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. This has been a great day. Pretty good week too. Y'all keep telling y'all I'm a vessel. I don't know where I get this stuff from. It's downloaded. It's given to me to give to y'all. Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow. Studio is closing in 5,